Moscow station on space to ground 1. Oleg, go ahead. We can hear you on space to ground 1. Regarding separation, I did not understand what you said. So the specialist is still there? Yes, I'm still here. So the distillation was going on without any issues. So you told me to stop it. I stopped it. But what should I do next? Okay, so now it should be stage 4 now. That should be complete in automatic mode. So please perform step 2.3, manual flushing, and then select the automatic mode and start distillation. Copy that. And what about video? Do you need it to be recorded on video? Because, you know, the charge of the batteries is depleting, and I have to recharge or change out. You know, Oleg, we need flushing most of all. Actually, you don't have to record it on cameras anymore. So if flushing is important, not the distillation, yes, we are interested in the flushing. We don't need distillation, Oleg, anymore. All right. Copy that. So I will perform the steps that you told me.
Station Houston on 2 for Drew at your convenience.
Go ahead on 2, Daniel.
Yes, sir. Just got some words for you regarding cargo ops. It looks like with the clamshell issue, today you'll be step 1 per message 3, and then you're a no-go past step 1. And it looks like to fill the time, we'll do the photos per message 2, and then, like I said, do step 1 of message 3, and that should take care of the cargo ops for today.
Okay, photos per message 2 and step 1 of message 3.
And that is a good readback, and we're working on redoing the choreography for the rest of message 3 based on the clamshell issue.
And we've already, do you have any words on the fact that we've secured the EMCS? We'd like to know if that can stay in that location.
And we think it can stay there.
Okay, and just FYI, Alex brought down the Marys today, and I'm looking to secure that in place as well. So do you have any words? Is that part of step 1 of message 3?
And we'll check on that. Station Houston on 2 for Drew and Mara's message.
Right on 2.
Yes, sir. So we were tracking that the Mars would be in message 2 per step 4. So as long as that's what you guys are seeing, then you are good to execute that step.
Okay, I'll check it out. I just know that Alex had a breakdown on his timeline today and delivered it to Cygnus, and I told him to just temp stow it there, but we'd like to secure it in place. So I'll take a look at message 2, step 4, and see where that's supposed to go.
That sounds great. Thanks, sir.
Station on 2 for ISO.
Worthy on 2, sir.
Yeah, Daniel, just looking ahead to step 1 on message 3, we actually took care of a good deal of that on yesterday, with the exception of photos, and it'd be great if there was some other things we could take advantage of this time getting moved, because we have some trash, as you guys know. We have some trash coming down from the Russian segment, and we'd like to make some headway toward getting this thing loaded up.
Copy all that. Give us a second to talk about it here.
Daniel, just to give you a little bit more information, we probably were able to move about 2.5, 3 MO2s worth of foam into all the kind of empty voids between bags in the places where it was appropriate. And I think that's kind of what we're getting at in step 1.
And Drew, just to follow up to that, did you guys do a video survey when you moved those MO2 bags?
We were working on this yesterday. We took no pictures, and we have taken no video yet. Drew's going down with the camera right now.
All right, copy.
Daniel, since we have KU, how about if Drew just takes the Node 1 camera down and you guys go ahead and hit record and you can get a look around at what we have done thus far.
Okay, copy that. It's not a bad idea. Let us circulate it around here first. Station Houston on 2 for Drew and video.
Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, Drew, we've got the Node 1 camera routed and we're set to record. We don't currently have picture, so once you turn it on, we'll let you know that we've got good video.
Okay, I'll turn it on and then give me a sec because I need to clear out some of the loose floating items that are down there temporarily so you can see what we've got secured.
No worries, sir. We're on your time. Station Houston on 2 for Drew. We got good video, thanks. Station Houston on 2 for Drew and video narration.
Yeah, Daniel, if he's down in Cygnus, he's probably not going to be able to hear you. This is Ricky. I got a quick question for you, though, on an item. I think it's 201 on the stow list.
Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now in the message. I think it's on message 2, referring to, I think it was item 200 is Mares 201, is something called microscope foam. And 2 and 3, sorry, it's items 200 and 203, which are supposed to be in the JLP F1 rack front. I'm really not sure what those are. Is it foam with hardware in it?
Copy. Let's check on it.
Yeah, there's been a couple call-outs to foam, and typically the foam is not very well labeled, so it's kind of hard to discern if the foam itself isn't labeled for a specific piece of hardware, which frequently it's not. It's kind of hard for us to track down, so it might be a thing to carry forward if we're going to use that as an identifying an item, that the providers make sure it's written on the outside of the foam as well.
Great feedback, Ricky. I appreciate that.
There are 2 pink foam boxes in that location in the JLP. They have hardware in them. It's like RPCM1, and I can get you the other item, but it did not make any references to microscopes.
All right, Ricky. Good copy.
Moscow Station, space to ground 1 for separation. Go ahead. The flush is complete, and I'm standing by for distillation to start. Copy. So mark the time of the distillation process starts, and then you don't have to monitor it. I'll be just waiting for it to be completed. I'll be monitoring telemetry, etc. Okay, yes, sure. I will make note of the time. And also, you can call us from MRM module. We're standing by for calls. Come again, please. I didn't copy your last. Space to ground is still dedicated for our use as well. and you're going to use it from MRM. Yes, I copy, but they're busy with cargo ops right now, and the distillation has started according to our telemetry. Let me check.
Station Houston on 2 for Ricky and cargo ops.
Daniel?
Yes, sir. So as part of this video survey, what we're going to want to do is get a wireless mic so you guys can narrate to us. And what we're looking to get from this survey really is any uncontained foam. We want to report what bay you're at, so where you're looking, the approximate dimensions of that uncontained foam, and then also we'd like to see that it's secure, so just a little tug demonstration.
Daniel, that'll take probably the rest of the time. We spent a good chunk of yesterday taking advantage of some of the areas where there's to load foam in, and we made sure it met the dimensions, and we also made sure it was wedged in tightly.
All right, copy, standby 1.
Daniel, are you hearing Drew on the internal mic for the camera?
That is a negative, sir. Station Houston on.
Station on. For stowage.
With you on 2.
Daniel, could you please repeat? I didn't quite hear the request to Ricky.
Yeah, so a couple of things. One, we are currently routing the video as SD. We'd like to switch it from H to HD so we can actually get the audio from the camcorder. To do that, we just need you to check the wires from the camcorder to the encoder.
Okay, we'll double check. That camera's configured as it always is. All wires are plugged in, and we'll look at the encoder to see if it's got any issues.
Yep, Roger. Just getting some feedback that sometimes that cable comes loose. So if we can get that, that'll help out. The words to Ricky were really just the importance of this video survey is to document that uncontained foam. And we really need where you are, so report the bay, the approximate dimensions of the foam, and then a brief security description of how secure that foam is with a little tug demonstration.
Okay, that's going to be nearly impossible for us to do due to the number of pieces of foam and the locations of all of them. If you would like us to take the time that it would be required to unstow all the bags and find the foam underneath and in all the corners, we can certainly do that, but I would imagine that we won't have enough time scheduled nor be able to accommodate that on task list to then complete the stowage for this activity. So I'd like you guys to reconsider that request. And we read your recommendations for stowage of the foam. We understand the constraints. We have a lot of foam to deal with, and we have a lot of trash to deal with. And we are doing our best to ensure that it is fully secured in the location. And also, as we load other items into those bays, those pieces of foam then get further secured and wedged in between items. So if that's not going to be sufficient, then perhaps we just need to take all the foam out and fill up PMM with all the foam and then just only stow the items, the JSBs that you requested, because I just don't think we're going to be able to accommodate the request for the foam.
Drew, we understand all. We'll talk about it down here. Station Houston on 2 for Drew and Cargo Ops.
done too?
Yes, sir. We concurred with your logic. So we're going to leave it as it is today. We don't need you to take all the foam out and redo all the unpacking. So for today, we really appreciate you taking the video, and that really did help us out. So what we're looking at for today is, along with taking the pictures per message 2 and then storing the MARS per step 4 in message 2, we're also going to look at taking apart the clamshell. And it looks like we got 2 pieces and locations for you when you're ready to copy.
Go ahead for the clamshell locations.
All right, sir. So the top piece will go forward 1_1 Zulu, and then the bottom piece will go in Port Bay 2 Zenith.
Okay, and I'm assuming you want us to pack that so that we can then fill the open volume with JSBs or something?
And that's affirmative. And standby 1, I'll get you the JSBs that we're going to use to fill.
Houston, I guess I'm thinking to myself, you know, what would be most efficient here? It seems like each day we're getting a little bit bogged down with the stowage. And I just make a suggestion that I think what would be really helpful to us is if you selected the biggest mass items that you have, the most critical ones that are important for CG, and tell us, you know, where those go, where they need to be secured, and then leave it to us to just go after basically all the JSPs, knowing that we need to leave room for the stuff coming from the Russian segment and whatever's coming in from JAXA. It seems like most of the JSPs probably have a common weight, and if we could just, you know, if you guys could just cut us loose to start stowing those in secure locations, and that might help us to be more efficient, and then just go ahead and pack the thing up, because we're trying to step by step each individual bag, and it's really kind of, just trying to find it's really kind of hampering our ability to be productive and efficient at using the time that we have scheduled wisely. You know, this was the only time we had scheduled this week for filling up Cygnus, but I doubt if we'll get anything done by the time this expires.
And Drew, we hear you down here. Unfortunately, that clamshell kind of threw us for a loop, so we need some time to regroup. But in the meantime, if we can take apart that clamshell, and then I've got the 2 GSBs that'll fill the void when you're ready. The first one will be the any common trash JSB, and just report the serial number. And then the top will be JSB number 1232. But we understand that kind of the frustration up there.
It's not that. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how we can all work together. I know you guys everybody's working hard down there. The ISS are working hard to make it efficient, but it seems like we keep getting stumped every time we get into it, just because we're sort of pieceworking it together. And we want to do it right, but I think we get the idea, and I know that the CG can be critical. So maybe just if folks could think about rethinking how we move forward and giving us a little bit of leeway to go ahead and move out on some of the items. You know, we'll take care of where we put the big things if those are specifically called out. But for JSBs and whatnot, you know, I think we should just, at liberty, be able to just grab them and pack them. And then, you know, we'll ensure that everything's secure in its place with the straps, and any foam we put in there will be jammed in there nice and tight so it's not going to go anywhere.
Hey, Drew, those are great comments. Really appreciate it. We're going to take those back to the team and hopefully get a more efficient system up to you.
I appreciate it, and, you know, we're trying to help you out down here. We appreciate you guys thinking about it.
station on 2 for ISO.
With you on 2, sir.
Daniel, a quick question for you. I know we had a call out for 1232 for dry common trash. Is there anything magical about that one? We actually have some WHC trash that we've pulled out of the PMM that we would like. We've actually started loading it. It's kind of an experiment, and with the ventilation we have, it's been tolerable thus far. And I was wondering if we could go ahead and move that as we find it, and then give you the serial numbers when we get them stowed.
Stay by 1, Drew, and let us check.
Sorry, say again, Daniel?
Yeah, we're checking on that. Stand by 1.
Yeah, certainly not to belabor this, but the prescribing the JSBs, getting the PMM, I was doing that yesterday, and you can add like a 5 to 10 minute search for an individual JSB each time you go to get it. And so we were just trying to identify the ones with an early GMT. I'm looking one with a GMT of 97 with some WHC trash, and there's some that it goes back further than that we'd like to go ahead and load.
Copy and understand all. Station Houston on 2 for Drew and JSB.
Item 2.
Yes, sir. If we could get the serial number of the JSB with the WHC trash, we can go back and check and make sure it's approved for you to load.
That's 1237, and yeah, let us know. Let us know if there's a priority or which ones are why one would be allowable to load and one wouldn't.
And Rick, back with you now. Serial number 1237, your WHC trash is approved. The reason one JSB would take priority is it's just an approval process to make sure we don't throw away something that didn't have buy-off from all the owners.
Okay, I just assumed that WHC trash, you know, the only thing that's really in WHC trash is old urine hoses and green trash bags that have wet wipes and food wrappers and stuff from the WHC. So I guess I'm just wondering what hardware or something's in there that wouldn't be approved.
No, I understand all, and your logic is correct. For the WHC trash, that makes perfect sense, but without giving blanket approval to say any GSB is approved, there is a process that we wanted to go through first. But for 1237, yep, you are correct, sir.
For us, the main process is odor, so I'm assuming that any JSB that has a very offending odor is approved for trash. Is that not a true statement? Daniel, the call out for the bottom piece of the clamshell to go in Port Lulu, that location already has 2 JSBs per the plan yesterday. Would you like us to lift those JSBs and then put the clamshell down and then put those JSBs back inside?
Let me check on that one, and just back to the offending odor JSBs. As long as it's on the trash list and trash map, it is approved to go. It's anything that's outside of that would be an issue. And if you just give us a call with the serial number and let us know that there is a very offensive JSB, we can certainly work with you from there.
I think what would help us is if you sent us a list of all the currently approved WHC JSBs and common trash JSBs and hardware trash JSBs, so that, you know, if you guys could lead turn that, then we could just look at the list and then pull them off there as needed. Otherwise, you know, for us to go grab a JSB and then come out with it from the DMM, and then for you to say, well, that's not approved, and then so it's a wasted trip. So maybe a better way is you send us a list of anything that we can pack as a JSB instead of, and I know the map has them, but we just need a listing because for JSBs, WHC, and common trash, and they're all kind of the same mass, I'm sort of assuming that we can put any of those in locations that will fit a JSP. Houston station for ISO. We're trying to find the home for the bottom half of the clamshell. I think you called out Port Bay 2 Zenith, and we think that's labeled P2Z1 or P21Z. And as I mentioned, per the plan yesterday, if we did it correctly, we already stowed 2 JSBs there and one other item, a half CTB or something. Would you like us to remove those items and put the clamshell down and then put the items back in it?
And stand by one, we're checking on it. If you can just give me the JSB serial numbers that are currently stowed there, that'll help us out a little bit, and we're working on the plan.
Hey, Houston, per Ricky's call down yesterday, the JSBs in that location are 1239, 1233, 1229, and a half CTB, or 1.0 CTB. 4232, and we'll check the contents. I think it's empty CTBs. And Ricky says that CTB is a trash item that was called for per the plan out of the PMM.
Station Houston on 2 for Ricky and Drew and Cargo Ops. We are tracking those CTBs you just read off as port 2 Nader, not port 2 Zenith. So we're going to check on that and see if maybe it's just a clocking issue. And we're also working the forward plan on that clamshell stowage. So if you can just give us a minute, I'll give you a holler as soon as we got a good plan for you.
Good copy. Hey, Daniel, we do have those bags per the map in Port 2-1 Nader area, but what you guys need to understand is they don't fit exactly in the spot that the map calls out, so they're kind of laying over Nader and Zenith the way we've got them put in there. In fact, not all the bags that you called out actually fit in that spot. In terms of the clamshell, I mean, we can put it in there and just put the bags in on top of it. At some point, we're going to have to do that with bags. But those ones that I just called down to you are in the locations that you called for them and laid out the way that they're called for on the map, more or less, because they don't fit exactly the way you got them diagrammed in there.
All right, guys, we understand all. Also, if you put the clamshell in there, do you think the bags will kind of lay in the same configuration, or does it take up more space?
Yeah, the clamshell takes up volume, as you know, and so they may or may not all still fit in that location, but we can certainly stack them on top of each other, and we could, put something else smaller in. That's kind of along the lines of what I'm saying. If we could identify the heavy mass items that need to be in specific locations, there's probably some need to, let us just use our judgment on packing it as long as we get the big things right and then secure everything else. And
Yeah.
Roger, and that all makes good sense. And yeah, I understand that's probably poorly worded. I know that clamshell does take up volume. We're just looking, but you hit it. So give us a second to talk about it down here. Station Houston on 2 for Ricky or Drew in Cargo Ops. Station Houston on 2 for Drew, Ricky, and Cargo Ops.
Station on 2.
Yes, sir. So just wanted to get you some notes on where we're at on Cargo Ops. As you guys finish up tonight, we really would like some good photos of the work you complete. And then we'll work on the plan overnight and get a forward plan to you, uplink tomorrow. And also, we really appreciate all your comments and feedback, and we're going to work to incorporate that, particularly the JSB and the common trash pieces.
Okay, sounds good. We will make sure we get photos tonight before we finish up work.
And gents, we will be set up for your cargo conference in about 5 minutes.
And Daniel, do you guys? Yeah, I guess we're just asking whether it's worth doing that. Do you guys have any new information for us, or do we need to just wait that until you get your photos and the team makes a plan for us to move forward?
So, gents, yeah, it would help out if we can just do the conference real quick. Just got some serial number tag-ups that we need to do to get the forward plan together.
station on 2 for the conference.
And Drew, they're waiting for you on Space to Ground 3.
Okay, thanks, Danny. I'll switch over.
Houston, Huntsville, Munich, Scuba, Moscow. Expedition 56 is here for the DPC.
Good evening, Expedition 56. First, it was great working with you guys today, and I'll be back with you tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, you guys can feel free to call me Adam. I'm being told I sound exactly like Daniel, but since I always confuse Drew and Ricky, I figured it was fair to be Daniel today. Really appreciate your hard work on the cargo ops, and we just have a few topics from Houston today. First will be for Ricky. Just need to verify you completed the OGS sensor R&R Part 2, and then in the Part 1 activity, if we could get the serial number and stowage location for the 3.0 CTB that was labeled for SpaceX return number 5.
Okay, the bag was not deployed yet. The item is in the area where we are going to deploy it, but we have not deployed that 3.0 CTB, and I will check with Ricky and confirm that he did OGS Part 2, but I know he was working it. And also, Adam, I apologize that we were calling you Daniel. You do sound like Daniel, and anyways, I'm very sorry for that, and I guess we get Ricky and Drew a lot in the wrong place as well. So please speak up if we're making that mistake. We don't want to perpetuate that problem.
No, it's completely cool, gents. I understand, and I'm happy to call it Daniel. Actually, it's a kind of a compliment. So, second thing for you, Drew, would be need the new and old battery serial numbers for the CDM changeout.
I have not done that yet either.
Okay, we'll stand by for that one. And then if you can verify that serial number 1003 is your deployed AC vacuum, and then we'll need the temp stow location for that failed AC vacuum, serial number 1001.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. So I wanted to clarify what happened with the vacuum. So when we initially finished these SUBSA activities, we were sent up some procedures to deal with the vacuum, and we did manage it per those procedures. So all the items were like quadruply bagged and taped and wrapped up and trashed and hardware trashed. We cleaned up the vacuum. We actually trashed the end that was used, for the flexible end that was used for the vacuum to do those ops. And so, and then we've used that vacuum for weekend vacuuming throughout the module and changed out the vacuum bag again. So the original AC vac is still deployed. We have contained all of these SUBSA particles from that activity, and it is all trashed, and so we're still operating with it.
And just for clarification, it sounds like it's 1001 that you are still operating with, correct?
It's the same unit. I can look at the serial number here in the bag, but it's the same unit we've had deployed for months. We have not changed out to the new unit. We took care of the trash and the captured particles after the SUBSA activities pretty much right away.
Okay, appreciate it. Last thing for me is that the plan for tomorrow is on board. Pod will have a few deltas for you, and they'll cover in just a minute. So I'll stand by for any questions or comments for us.
Yeah, I think we're all set. Thanks for that, Adam, and appreciate the work today, and apologize for the challenges with the Cygnus ops.
We certainly appreciate all your feedback. It's really helpful for us down here. There are no topics from Munich or Scuba today.
We probably spent a good 4.5 hours over the weekend trying to get us just in a position to be through Part 1 and to get some of that foam. And then today, Drew and I both cleared off our schedules early, tried to work ahead a little bit.
Good evening to you guys. We just have two quick topics tonight. The first one is for Serena and her timeline tomorrow. We just want to let her know that the PD team is good with rescheduling the gear and ops for the weekend. So we're going to remove her last gear and collect the stow from her timeline tomorrow. But her blood draws will remain scheduled for
we're
tomorrow.
Just wrapping up right now. So Drew and I both worked, I'm trying to guess here, hour and a half, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours to today, something like that. That sound about right? Heads up that she does not need anybody on site to help with the blood draw tomorrow morning.
Excellent. We were carrying that as well, so glad to have that confirmation. Thank you very much. And then our second topic is for you, Drew. Just a quick question for you. If you happen to remember if you turned the locking mechanism on the canister today to the spool unlocked position when you were doing the manufacturing device installation, it's okay if you don't remember. We're just kind of gather some information, but we don't want you to go check or anything, just if you remember offhand.
I absolutely remember. I remember locking it, and then I remember reading the procedure and unlocking it and confirming it was in the unlocked position. So that was done per the procedure.
Fantastic. That's exactly what we need to know. Thank you very much. So more troubleshooting will be coming on that. We're having a little bit of an issue with the filament, so you'll probably see that on the timelines coming up in the next couple of days. That is all we have. Do you have anything for us?
I will tell you that on the installation of that mechanism back into the cartridge, what I noticed is per the procedure, the way I understood it was when I removed the reel on the left and then taped it down while I was waiting to install the cartridge. When I took the Kapton tape off and then went to snip it off, I noticed that it really puts sort of a permanent bend in the end of that. And I tried to, after I cut it, make it as straight as it could be coming out of the feed there. And I did cut it at an angle per the procedure, but I wasn't really happy with the fact that it looked like there was a bend in just the end of that from it being taped over for the few moments while I was changing out the cartridge.
And we copy all. That is great information, and I'll pass that on to our team down here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And that is all we have. So if you guys don't have anything else for us, Munich and Scuba are standing by with no topics, so I can hand you guys over to Moscow.
Copy that. We have no items for Munich or Scuba tonight, and we'll pass it off to our colleagues in Russia. Thank you for your support tonight. Thank you, Drew.
Moscow station on Space to Ground 1 for the evening DPC. Good evening, guys. Good evening. We are ready for the evening DPC. Oleg, let's begin. The stack pressure is 151 millimeters. We have performed almost all activities. There is a little bit of distillation left, and also take pictures of the clump. Physical exercises have been performed in full, and we have received radiograms, so 9107, and radiograms starting with 9319 and all through 9339. And I'm ready to verify Form 14 with you for tomorrow.
Олег, форма 24 должна быть 9319.
Oleg, you know, the Form 24 should be 9319, not the number that you said. My apologies. Yes, 9319. All right. Now it is all matching, and I'm ready to verify Form 14 with you. This is radiogram 9325. Form 14 for tomorrow is being verified. At the end of the radiogram with Form 14, everything is good. Now, any task list activities that you have performed today, any additional work? Sergey, Uragan, half an hour, Econ, half an hour, and preparation of Roscosmos sites, also half an hour. Okay, now I've jotted it down. Same for myself, plus preparation of the cargo to be disposed on Cygnus, 20 minutes, and also Glycer experiment preparation, also 20 minutes. All right, I made a note of that. And what about distillation? How much time did you spend on that? Well, you know, I have to go there and have a look. I had exercises on the T, on the beta 2, on the treadmill, before that. All right, let's do it after the DPC. Oleg, you will then tell us how much time you spent on that. All right, so where did you get the time to perform all these additional activities, Oleg? What can you tell us? Come again. So where did you get the time, to, where can we get the time to account for your additional activities? Well, let's see. Dinner time, lunchtime, correction, lunchtime. All right, half of the lunchtime. What else? Evening preparation work also. All right. Also, in the morning, I got up very early, was preparing the activity, and I had some free time. Also, maintenance of the fans, activity. All right, copy that. I think that's quite sufficient. I think we will be able to account for the additional activities. All right. Have you done any social maintenance, any change-outs? No. No change-outs. We might have them later. Copy that. When you were inspecting the quick disconnect clamp, did you notice any damage? No damage. So on the first plane, there was one lock or latch that we had to tighten a little bit. All the rest were fine. All right, so one on the first plane. Copy that. Did you take any pictures so that we understand which one? It's number 58, and of course, I took a picture of it, but I haven't yet downlinked it. So I will have to downlink these pictures of the clamp. All right. I guess that's all I had for you guys for tonight. Do you have any questions for us? No questions? Only the best wishes, and have a good night. And thank you for your support tonight. Thank you so much for the wonderful experience that we were able to have. Thank you so much for your work. And Oleg, I guess we should not say goodbye to each other. Of course, you will call us after the DPC from MRM 1. From MRM 1. And the specialist is still there. Yes, still here, standing by for your report. All right, so I will go there right away and talk to you later.
Station on 2 for follow-up. Houston Station on 2 for timeline follow-up.
We're with you on 2, sir.
Adam, just check with Ricky. He did complete OGS Part 2, just didn't have a chance to mark it complete on the timeline. Yeah, he forgot. But anyways, he did complete that work, and we just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Perfect. Well, we figured as much. Just wanted to follow up.
For checking.
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 2 for separation. Go ahead. Well, it is in automatic mode. Okay. Excellent. And we're monitoring the telemetry. Everything is going well. Then could you please downlink the files? And you can go ahead and proceed with close-out ops, disconnect everything, downlink the files, and when you get a chance, please downlink the pictures of all the 3 YDV containers. So am I going to disconnect it? Yes, and check what you have in YDV-D, YDV-U, and YDV-O. Whenever you get a chance. There is no rush with this activity. Okay. And then for video files, how should I downlink them? Via RSP or OCA? I mean video files? It doesn't matter. Whatever works best for you. Okay. Oleg, go ahead and use OSP because we're going to downlink it from there quite quickly. Okay. And one more question. So today we replaced the number of flash cycles. We set it to 50. So did you notice if the setting remained, or did you have to re-enter it every single time? No, actually it remained there, and it is still at 50. Okay. Well, then it had to do with the control panel deactivation. Well, thank you very much for your activity. Everything was completed successfully for the most part today. And we're going to plan this activity with manual mode operations. And when? It will be sometime next week. So basically, once a week we will have an activity because we have to set up the distillation process. So it will come up more frequently. And then the pictures that I sent, did you have a chance to go over the pictures? Well, Oleg, I didn't answer because I couldn't figure out what it was right away. But then I figured it out. It was the gas liquid separator. Well, it after you separate it, it becomes wet. That's what happens. Well, I have discussed it with the hardware owner. I had a preliminary discussion with him, and he says that you shouldn't use it. There is a hose or something, and the hardware is quite old, but there is no final decision on that, so we're going to discuss it tomorrow. Well, the main point here is that it is a very old hardware. GAJS is very old, and it's been there forever, and it's not really operating well. So during separation, you just have to use a towel with a hose or something. But we're going to come up with more recommendations. Well, when air and water comes out, the hose becomes soft, and then gradually it evaporates. So it is no use to do anything there, but if there is a hose, then I guess it would be better. Alec, I didn't copy. Did you say it would be better? No, actually it would be worse with the hose, because we have to use the towels and maybe we should use the sponge or something. Okay, I copy all, and I'm going to pass this information to the specialist. We had a different suggestion today, but we're going to come up with more specific recommendations later on. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for your report, and thank you for completing this activity. Yes, thank you as well, and all the best to you. Bye.
Олег, насколько все-таки тебе добавим время на...
Oleg, and then how much time should we add to you for completing the separation activity? Well, let's say an hour.
Сколько?
What is it? 1 hour.
Час? Я правильно услышал?
1 hour? Did I copy it correctly? Yes. 1 hour.
Хорошо.
Okay.
Спасибо тебе большое.
Thank you, Oleg.
Ты все это успеваешь, но ты большой молодец.
You're really doing well. I honestly don't know how you have time to complete everything. And all the best to you. Well, actually, it's thanks to you guys as well.
Спасибо большое, Олег. Давай.
Well, thank you, Oleg. I'll talk to you soon.
Переводим в штатный режим.
And we're going to configure nominal com. Okay. Sounds good.
Давай, пока.
Okay, bye.
station on 2 for timeline.
We're with you on 2, sir.
Hey, Adam, I'm not going to get the Melfi ice brick transfer done today. We kind of got wrapped around the axle with the Cygnus transfer off, so if you guys could work to get that on a different day later, that would be great.
Hey, we copy all, Drew, and we'll work to reschedule it. Thanks.
Thank you.
station on 2 for camera cards.
Go ahead on 2, sir.
Adam, or the new Dan, I would say. Quick question here. In trying to make a long time lapse in the cupola, and I realized that the camera cards, the 32 gigabyte camera cards that we have, they sometimes go to their limits, even if you use 2. So the question would be if we do have 64 gigabyte flash cards on board available.
Let me check on that, Alex. And I can go by Daniel 2.0 if that would work.
Yeah, let's make sure they change it in the Manning roster.
station. Houston on 2 for Alex and memory cards.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So we used to have larger, or the 64 gig cards on board that might have been used for the blood mouse draw, but we're still looking to see if they're on board. The only other suggestion I could think of was using a lossless compressed file. Might help you save a little bit of memory.
Right. Thanks for letting us know, and thanks for keeping looking for one. The JPEG would work. That's true. The thing is, especially for the Auroras, we need the dynamic range of the raw file because it has like 256 times more colors, and we found that often we have to do color corrections. So for that one purpose that we want to use it, it doesn't work. So thanks for the suggestion. So if you come up with another location anytime, please call it up. We would really love that.
Yeah, but I understand that completely, Alex. And if we find it before 21:30, we'll give you a call. And if we find it over the night, we'll throw it in the daily summary for the morning.
Cool. Thanks for that. And everybody down there, have a great rest of the day. Thanks for working with us today. Thanks for bearing us also on difficult days. So much appreciated, really, your help.
You bet. You guys have a great night.